and I'm going to square it up. Now, like I said, if you're really honest with yourself and you're cutting chipboard, it's not perfect either. I don't know how many times my chipboard is off because we're humans. So these boards are going to be a little bit off also. So when you put them all together, you're going to see that you've probably got a couple that are off, but that's okay. It's going to be your see how it'll be like your inside board once you get it all put together. Yes, it's off, but I know that this top board is perfectly my 10.5 by 10.5, so it's going to be okay. Next step, we're going to put these together for that extra strength. I do use my score tape. You can use your Scotch glue. I'm going to do the score tape around the edge, Scotch glue in the middle, and we'll go ahead and get that started. I'm using 1/2-inch score tape for my edges. And when you think about scrapbooking, how much it costs, sometimes we don't get to make everything that we want to make because of the cost. But if you can find ways like this to really maybe cut down on that chipboard, or you want to cut down on your score tape, but you want it to be on the outside so it's the strongest, you can still use your Scotch glue. So let's go ahead and take our, I need my handy little Cricut tool. I don't even use this on my Cricut. I use it all on my score tape. I wonder if they just knew we needed it. So get your tape in, your Scotch, and of course it doesn't want to come out. It never wants to come out when I want it to. So let's just put some all over. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the inside up. Turn this. Now, once you get these all put together, you can also, if it really, really bugs you, but you have to make sure, like, see, one of these is off, but I know that this top board was my square board. So I see that I've got a little bit of an edge there. So I'm going to take my box cutter. I'm just going to lightly, like I said, go along the edge. But sometimes it might not even be the box. It might just be a piece that's not completely cut off. You'll notice right here, mine is off a little bit. That's okay. I know that this is my 10.5 by 10.5, like I mentioned. So we've got the glue, we've got the score tape. Let's set this one aside. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for our next board. That's my inside, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And we're going to go ahead and score tape. Now, the other thing is, if you don't want to do cutting, oops, you've got a loose edge there. If you don't want to do your cutting until after you've matched your boards together, you can square up your edges that way. And you can square them up perfectly to each other if you're that talented. Like I said, usually I get my husband to do the cutting because he has all those tools in the garage, the angle ruler, and he can just take it right out in the garage. And I'll have him doing that pretty soon with Christmas crafting coming up, so that we can get these all done. And I'll have a lot of covers. Okay. Now I'm seeing some areas, so I'm just going to go ahead and go along. I'm not going to cut that. I made sure that my top one, is my 10.5. I knew this one was pretty perfect, so I'm not going to worry about it hanging over on this inside. I consider this my inside. But I am going to clean up this edge a little bit. Okay. And I'm even going to take the sanding block just to get those loose pieces off. Now, we've got to do the spine piece. Now, the spine piece is 10.5 by 2 1/4. If you're unsure, go ahead and take the hinge that you just made and lay it down there. Now, remember, this was short of 10. It was 10 7/8. This is 10.5. So you might even want your binding bigger. That's okay. Just you can make your album cover to match this perfectly. I don't like to because your pages will hang over the edge. So let's go ahead and take that off. We're going to do the same thing. Score tape. So this one was the 10.5 by 2 1/4. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to use any glue because this is a smaller area. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put my box cutter away before you see blood on the table. Grab that score tape. And then just bend it back on itself. Match things up. And there we have our 3 pieces. So you'll have the cover, the back, and you'll have our spine. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here and start a new one for the cover because not only do I have to make room on my desk, but I have to get everything ready for you. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye-bye.